Hey everyone, Mike here, and I'm very excited to bring you this very special episode on Nowhere Bound. If you can see out of the rear view window there, I've got something different attached to the Jeep this time. It's not the teardrop camper, but it's still an RV of sorts. It is the Lacros Thunder, an awesome e-bike. Lacros is the sponsor of this video. They were kind enough to send me this bike specifically for this trip. So sit back and enjoy the ride as we head to the Greenbrier River and enjoy a night of tent camping and an 80-mile adventure along the beautiful riverbanks of remote West Virginia. Our adventure begins in Caldwell, West Virginia, the official southern start of the Greenbrier River Trail. This is where we'll meet Dave, our shuttle driver from Greenbrier Bikes in Marlinton. We'll leave the Jeep behind here and Dave will take us north to the old railroad town of Cass. Along the way, we're going to stop and check out this epic view of the Green Bank Radio Telescope. This is the largest steerable radio telescope in the world. From Cass, the plan is to bike our way back to Caldwell, normally about 80 miles of trail. I should have done due diligence with this. After a bit of chaos, getting everything together, we are finally on the Greenbrier River Trail. Past mile 73, feeling pretty good. The wildflowers are just beautiful out here. My only complaint is that I've been eating a few bugs here and there, but that's kind of to be expected. So around mile 70, I'm gonna stop for a drink and a little snack break. Although I'm on an e-bike, I am working, doing some of the pedaling. I'm not just relying on the motor because, number one, I want to get some exercise. Number two, I want to conserve electricity. But with the amount of weight I'm carrying, I would not be able to do this trip carrying this much stuff if I didn't have an e-bike. It's kind of ridiculous. Since we're on the subject, let me tell you about this e-bike. Lacros is the sponsor of this video, and they sent me this model, which is the Thunder, to try out. They wanted to send me a different model, and after looking through their products, I begged them for this one specifically so that I can do the trip I'm doing right now and show all of you. As I'm getting older, and I know a lot of you can relate to this, there's some things I'm dealing with. Number one, I need to be on a CPAP machine now in order to get rest at night and also to keep my blood pressure down. When I turned 50 years old, which was 4 years ago, I suffered from a mini stroke in my eye, and that was due to sleep apnea. And I found out the hard way that I had it pretty bad. I had a severe case. And since I've started CPAP therapy, the difference is dramatic. I don't fall asleep during the day. I feel so much better in general. But anyway, I digress. because I'm on CPAP, I have to carry that equipment with me wherever I go if I'm staying overnight. So I am carrying a travel CPAP machine in my packs. I've also got my Jackery 1000 power bank to recharge the bike overnight while we're camping. I also have my camping gear, some food, water, so on and so forth. All the camera gear. It's a lot. And the funny thing is, whenever I'm pulling away from a standstill, I use the throttle only because this has a twist throttle on the handlebar. I just use that to help get me going. And it pops a wheelie. That's how much weight's on the back of this thing. All right, mile number 72, just passed it. So I'm riding the Lacros Thunder. It is a beast of a machine. It's got a 750 watt motor, a 7-speed derailleur. The battery capacity is 20 amp hours, and it's a 48 volt system. So you do the math, and that tells you you've got 960 watt hour battery. So my Jackery 1000 is about equivalent as far as energy capacity goes, although we're going to lose a little bit in the conversion when we're recharging. So if I were to wear this battery out completely, I wouldn't quite have enough to top it off, but almost. The tires are awesome. They're 26 inch by 4 inches wide, fat tires. And it just feels like you're floating on top of this crushed limestone surface. And it's quite bumpy in some areas from washouts, but in general, it's really, really comfortable, and it makes the ride so much more enjoyable. There's a little bell on here. The brakes are hydraulic brakes. They're awesome. And overall, the bike is very well built. It's an all aluminum frame. And it weighs 88 pounds. It's not light. When I was getting ready to leave in Cass, it was drawing some commentary from some folks that noticed how beastly this thing is. The cargo capacity is 400 pounds. This is a really good ride to test out this bike, because this bike was made for what I'm doing right now. Actually, it could probably handle much more strenuous terrain than this. This is just a gentle grade the whole way, with some exceptions, like right here, we're going uphill slightly, but from the start to finish, we're going to lose about 1,000 feet of elevation. So it's a gentle 1% grade most of the way. Yep, it's raining. Mile 62. Feeling good. Except for my ass and my knee. Other than that, I'm great. And it's raining again. Springtime in the West Virginia mountains. You want the weather to change? Wait 10 minutes. As we roll into Marlinton, the trail finally turns to pavement. A welcome sight after 35 miles of dirt and gravel. Around town, you'll find a few reminders of the area's railroad past, back when this trail was part of the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. Built in 1899, the line once carried timber through the mountains and connected the sawmills that helped fuel Appalachia's booming lumber industry. After the railroad was abandoned in 1978, the corridor was donated to the state of West Virginia, and it eventually became the Greenbrier River Trail that we're riding today. It's very tempting to stop here for food. I may do that actually. So I swung around the corner and grabbed a quick burger at Dairyland, then got right back on the trail. I still needed to figure out where I was going to camp tonight, and I wanted to put in as many miles as I could. Nobody else on this trail right now. Just 20 minutes ago in Marlinton, it was cloudy and chilly, and the air was damp. And now that we're a little bit out of town, the sun's popping out of the sky, out of the clouds. And it feels nice and warm. This is one of the great things about two wheels. You're out in the elements, feeling the temperature changes, the humidity, the smells, the sounds. With this bike, it just feels like I'm floating down this trail. Gives new meaning to the term lazy river. This is a two-wheeled lazy river float. Okay, I gotta look at this alert, because it's talking about a section closure. I don't know if there's actually any sections closed or not. I heard people talking about it, and I asked somebody. They talked about it being near Seebert. So we may have to do a detour and a little bit of road riding, but it's all part of the adventure, right? Let's just keep going. We'll deal with it when we get there. Let's just keep on keeping on. Some rough road here. Oh. Yeah, that was a rough patch. Whoa. It's a really rough patch. Yikes. Bike handled it like a champ. All right, here's a campsite coming up. I'm just gonna stop to use the facilities and to just inspect it. See what we got going on. All right, I checked out the bathroom. It's actually really clean. a lot better than I expected. And we're at a campsite just a few miles north of Seebert. Seebert is where that supposed closure is on the trail, and I might get detoured. So I'm just thinking I could double back to this campsite instead of dealing with a detour tonight. So here's what we got. Picnic table, fire ring, tent pad. Room for just one. We got the river literally right behind us. It looks like a bit of an inlet from the river, though. The river proper looks more down that way. It'll do for the night. Let's look at the firewood situation. Kind of picked clean. The fire isn't 100% necessary. It'd be nice. Here's a piece somebody put up here to dry it out. That was nice. Yeah, it's pretty wet, just touching it. Got a couple lower branches down here we could use to start it. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. Let's just keep on going. And if there's a detour in our path, we'll just come back here. We just passed mile 49, and I just realized that I forgot to do something. Apparently there's a tradition that it's kind of a thing where you take your picture next to the mile marker that's the same as your age. And for me, that would have been mile marker 54. And I passed right by it. Just slipped my mind. There's a lot going on in my cranium. Doing this ride, it's almost overwhelming. All the planning involved. Getting here, arranging the shuttle, dealing with the camera gear, dealing with this huge bike. Just getting on and off of this thing is a chore. That's the best way to describe it. Especially when you have all this gear loaded on it. Without the gear, it's fine. Frankly, I'm amazed that it can handle all this gear. There's Jack Horner's Corner that I've been hearing everybody talk about. Maybe if I had more time, I'd stop and check it out, but I just want to get to camp, put on a few more miles. Deer number 2. Well, that explains why we haven't seen anybody. I should have done better due diligence with this. I guess we're backtracking a few miles. Roll with the punches. And it's 7:40. It's going to be dark in an hour. So I've got plenty of energy. I'm just gonna put it in high speed mode. Hopefully no more deer will jump out in front of me, and just huff it back quickly. All right, I'll let you know what happens. I'm in pedal assist mode 4. Bump it up to 5 just to see what happens. Whoa, it's like a turbo boost. 25 amps, holy shit. That's too fast. All right, pedal assist 4 will do. It just got up to almost 30 miles an hour. Hey, good morning everybody. Just to catch you up on the situation, I am here at Watoga State Park, where it was very close to dark when I got here. Secured an open campsite that I just randomly found. I slept pretty well. Actually, I'm comfortable, relatively warm, although this sleeping pad has developed a leak sometime in the past 8 years of storage, and it would slowly deflate. So it doesn't have a very good insulation value, and as the air left, my body sank and started touching the ground. The warmth was just robbed from my body when that would happen. So about every hour and a half I'd wake up and blow it up, and then I was super comfortable again. Then you also might notice I was using this Thermarest sit pad as a pillow. A lot of the night I was using this balled up for my pillow because my inflatable pillow also developed a leak sometime in the last 8 years. The good news is I've got a couple of items to throw away, and that'll reduce my pack weight a little bit, because the pillow and this sleeping pad are going in the trash. Here's the bike situation. So my Jackery has been with me this whole trip. I've got the bike charger plugged in here, and just open up the tent and show you. So yeah, the wire's running out, plugged into the bike, and it is now fully charged once again, with 23% remaining in the Jackery. So I still have a little juice left in the tank if I run low on the trail today, but that's not going to be expected to happen. I'm pretty sure I got the range to make it back to the Jeep. The trail closure is throwing a loop into the trail closure is throwing a monkey wrench into this whole operation. So at some point this morning I got to figure out my route and how I'm going to get around that. I think I need to ride up out of this river valley onto a road, go down to the next town, and then get back on the trail there. Most important thing right now is breakfast and coffee, bathroom, blah, 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 all that stuff. I'm going to get up and get to it. Still waking up here. Just a couple of little challenges overnight and some stuff to overcome today, but it's all part of it. Camping in the tent has been pretty fun, but I still like the teardrop much better. But it's nice to change things up, and this has been a really fun trip. This Greenbrier River Trail is amazing, and I can't wait to get back on it. The Lacros Thunder bike is really kicking butt. I'm so impressed with that bike. All right, let's get going. Okay, we're off. I've got a new route planned. We're gonna have to do a little road riding. It's gonna add about 20 minutes to the ride, maybe 5 or 6 miles, not too bad. Beautiful day today, much warmer than yesterday, no clouds in the sky. The very first stop I need to make is at the camp office to pay for my site. And we're off again. Nice downhill section here. Temperature is perfect with this breeze. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. The e-bike's just powering right out of this river valley. It's awesome. 750 watt motor, 1400 peak watts. It's just crushing these hills. And I got a lot of weight on this thing. I'm kind of blown away. First gear, 17 amps out of the motor, 18 amps, steep uphill. All right, we made it up over that hill. Another beautiful farm pasture. All right, turning left on Denmar Road. I think this is gonna drop us down to the trail. When we get there, I'm gonna take a little break, drink some water. Big hill. Putting a lot of trust in these hydraulic brakes. They're doing the job. The front brake has a lot more stopping power than the back brake. It's something to keep in mind if you're not familiar with it already. Wow, big hill. It's hard to keep my eyes on the road because I just want to look at everything. Okay, here's the other side of the closure. As the miles started adding up, so did the heat. By this point, the sun was high, the temperature was pushing into the upper 80s, and drinking water was hard to find on the southern half of the trail. Along the way, I caught back up with a couple of friends I'd met earlier on the shuttle ride to Cass. We'd been leapfrogging each other since the start, and sure enough, there they were, tucked into a patch of shade and taking a much-needed break.
Hi.
Guys!
What?
I tagged along with them on a quick detour to a nearby gas station, hoping we might all be able to refill. Unfortunately, the only option was a vending machine. I didn't have any cash, but I did have a water filter with me as a backup. Between the two of them, they scraped together just enough bills and change for 2 bottles of water. They kindly offered me a drink and I accepted 1 sip, but I didn't want to take any more than that. I knew they'd need it as badly as I did. Because of all the weight I was carrying, I had limited myself to a single 1-liter Nalgene bottle, and at the time that felt like a reasonable compromise. But now, in the heat, with miles still ahead of me, I was quietly hoping to find a place I could fill up soon. Otherwise, I might be in trouble.
As I rolled into the Caldwell parking lot at mile marker 3, it was great to see Peter and Eli finishing their trip too. Shout out to these guys. It's always nice making new friends out here and having a little company along the way. Also, a big thank you to Lacros e-bikes for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check out their link in the description. And of course, thank you to my wife Gina for putting up with my absences while I'm off chasing these adventures. And I especially want to thank everybody who supports the channel through Patreon. Without you, this channel wouldn't be possible. Now, I'm sure the regular viewers miss Juniper as much as I did. I have a feeling she was at home sulking the whole time, so I asked Gina to shoot a little footage while I was away. Let's see how she did without me.